As a kid, you had it all figured out, but someone told you it wasn't possible, that you weren't talented enough, or that you weren't worth it.
Is Christy helping Kaitlin? Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Even superficially, it's obvious that the death of Mo Wilson is a tremendous tragedy, a whole life lost. All the colour, vitality and budding youthfulness of the 25-year-old wiped out in an instant, and that was on May 11th. We see something similar with Colin Strickland, all of those muddy, sweaty adventures, all of those races and victories eviscerated, brought to a standstill. It may not seem that way, but Kaitlin has lost her life too, and her sister Christy, in a sense, has as well. We get a sense of the kaleidoscope of Kaitlin's life through her sister. Let's take a look, but before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So we start with travel, and we see photos of traveling through France, through Italy, through the Czech Republic, through Norway, through Scotland, through South Africa, Thailand, London, Paris, Cape Town, Malibu, Austin, Texas. And of course, what we are trying to figure out is, of all of these places that have been visited, what is a likely place for a fugitive to seek refuge in? And the answer is that there's such a variety. If there is a decision to flee the country, it's hard to know where to start looking. Also, what's very clear throughout is that there is a bond between sisters. In one Instagram post from 2018, she writes, "My sister has a theory. She discovered it a while at a yoga retreat. She shared this with me. When we find ourselves met with a challenging circumstance, look at the situation as the universe testing our patience and control over our emotions." And that's quoting from what Kaitlin Armstrong said. But there are many other Instagram posts showing the two sisters in various places, seeming to show great solidarity for one another. This is them in Loch Ness, Scotland, Stellenbosch, South Africa. And that brings us to the next section, family. It's hard to believe from all these photos that Christy and Kaitlin have a brother, the addict. He seems to be either absent or unacknowledged, despite so much sisterly affection, so prominently on display. Grandma gets a look in. So does Mama. Even the family dog. But where on earth are the men in the story? The fathers, the brothers, the boyfriends? Now let's move on to love. There are references to love here and there. There's a very emotive, poignant post from July 2018, the summer of 2018, where Christy says, "Scouting for my future husband and I in Paris. I imagine our convo while reenacting this photo would go something like this. Do I have it? Future hubs, yeah babe, you're perfect. I've got a serious crush on the world, now more than ever. I'm reminding myself to be grateful and remain balanced, to slow down and enjoy life. Paris was an absolute dream, and seeing the Eiffel Tower in person was better than I ever could have imagined. The magic goes well beyond the Iron Lady." And then there are other references to other people getting married. But what about the Armstrong sisters? There's also an interesting interest in the nomad life. There's a strong Gabby Petito feel to Christy's Instagram, featuring some of the same national parks Gabby and Brian visited, and the same rootless, restless, yoga-fueled existence. There are visits to the Capitol Reef National Park, Zion National Park, Coral Canyon, Sequoia National Park in California. And then there's also this interest in becoming an Instagram influencer, and perhaps the notion that this might be easy. And I think Christy's most recent Instagram seemed to present her as a life coach, dispensing wisdom on how to live. At around the time Colin Strickland was cheating on his sister, Christy made this video about self-worth, invalidation, and coping with feelings of discomfort. She talks about maybe, just maybe, that discomfort is calling you to higher, bigger, better. You are strong, and you have a big, beautiful life mission, rooting for you always. Who do you think that message was directed at? Prior to that, in September 2021, Christine, posting from Austin, Texas, suggests making decisions from an empowered place and stop running away from yourself. And then, of course, between all the yoga poses and admonitions for love and peace for all mankind, there are parties and concerts, fairy tales and fun, all par for the course for someone going out of their 20s into their 30s and kind of starting to get perhaps a little bit more serious about life, about love, about career and making money. And then there's this, and once this arrives on the scene, the parties are over. Bang, 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 and everything comes to an abrupt end. It's hard not to look at Christine's Instagram and see this incredible variety of life. And remember, it's only a half-lived life, at the age of 35 or so. It's a half-lived life. And all the places traveled, all the people, all the experiences, and then suddenly it all comes down to this. And where does it go from here? Where does the fairy tale go from here? Where do all those admonishments and psychologies, all those life coaching mantras and philosophies, where do they take one ultimately? And I can't help thinking that the problem with the present in terms of these sisters' lives had a lot to do with some kind of difficulty dealing with the past. What do you guys think? Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.